All right, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from this great world. Gentle Eagle again, I've come your way today. Um, a few days ago, I came up with the burden, I said, to encourage people to invest in real estate. And a few of you may be wondering, you're so passionate about telling people to invest in real estate. Um, what do I look out for if I want to invest in real estate? So that is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what you should look out for before you buy real estate, wherever you are in the world, anywhere you are in the world. Most of these principles are applicable. Most of them are applicable. So, what are some of the things that you need to look out for before you buy real estate? I want to make this, very brief and possible. As I said, I'm going to be popping in here to give you, some tips, especially in the real estate sector, which I have played for over a decade now. So I believe I know one or two things I can be able to advise you on. So take note of some of these things. You may need to jot them down. You may need to write them down so you can, be able to, to keep, or share to someone, a friend, a family member that possibly want to also invest in real estate. So what are the things you need to know? You need to take cognizance of before you buy real estate. Number one on the list is title. That is the proof of ownership. The proof of ownership of that real estate you want to buy, be it land, be it house. What title does the property have? So that's the first question you need to ask. Some of the most popular or most renowned title you know about is like the C of O, governor's consent, of course, deed of assignment, survey, or even, any other registered instrument, maybe where you are. So all these things are things you must need to ask. You must make sure any property you want to buy, you see minimum, you should see maybe the receipt, the survey, and at least the deed of assignment, which it has been, which has been used to transfer ownership, either from the indigenous owners of the property. Maybe the person buy from an indigenous owner or indigenous family, indigenous community. So at least the person selling to you should be able to have the survey to indicate the size and portion of the land, and at least the deed of assignment to show that how the family or the previous owner transferred ownership to the person. You need minimum of those, I think those things, you need minimum of them. So let me debunk one myth that is going on. People, especially for people that is going on out there, looks like any land, any property that doesn't have C of or governor's consent is not genuine. That is a lie. A lie is a myth that is going out there. So people are afraid to buy property. If the property doesn't have C of O or governor's consent, they feel that is a fake, it's not genuine. That is not true. That is not true. So what I want to encourage you about is that if you want to buy any property, confirm, most importantly, is the property not in a government committed area, government committed zone. So that's why you need to do what we call charting. Get a surveyor that will be able to go there to chart the land to see what has been registered in that or what has been mapped out in that zone. Some places government has mapped it out for industries, for schools, for healthcare facilities, markets, and the rest, or rail line, airports and all those things. So if you go and acquire property in such area, you're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your property. So ensure that the property is not in a government committed zone. So once that is established, you can go ahead to acquire such properly and start perfecting your title, which they call perfection of title. Maybe we may discuss it some other day. There's acquiring all other legal title, but make sure that you sure that the property have those basic requirements I have called earlier, which is at least the deed of assignment and the survey to indicate the portion and size of the land. So please don't always fall for this term. Always be afraid there that the property must have C of O or governor's consent before you buy. So don't let anyone deceive you. And if you want to wait for the property to have C of O or governor's consent, it's going to be expensive, because when the person that purchased it now has gone through the rigors, they pay even additional money to get the perfect title documents like C of O or governor's consent. That's why the property will be expensive. So wise people that understand the real estate game, they acquire even when the property doesn't have a perfect title, like the governor's consent or deed of assignment. They acquire it because that time you can still buy it cheap, maybe from the indigenous owner. Then you proceed and start perfecting the title yourself. And after you perfect any document, that you'll be surprised, the property that doesn't have title may just be 1 million today, and immediately the property have the perfect title, which is C of O, the thing jump to 10 million. That is how this thing works. And that's the secret of the millionaires, the secret of the rich. They acquire them in virgin developing areas where they doesn't have title, and they go ahead and perfect the title, and then start selling the property in millions. So that's the secret of the millionaire. So you as well can equally do that. So number 2, again, is that location and accessibility. So the second thing you must be able to consider before you buy a property is location and accessibility. Is the area developing? Is development moving towards the area? Something like maybe roads, facilities. Are there good road network in that area? Stuff like markets, schools, hospitals, etc. Check proximity to key landmarks. Key landmarks, for instance, in places like Lagos, the Dangote refinery, those are key landmarks. The deep sea ports, the international airports, some of all these places are key landmarks. Is the land at least closer? Is it accessible to such landmarks? So you ought to make sure you check, you ask information. What are the key landmarks, neighborhoods around where that land is located, even if there's no yet development on the land? Are there roads? Are there proposed roads? Is there any road government is doing towards that area? Are there hospitals, markets, schools sited around that area? So those things is what you use to know property that will appreciate or an area that will fast develop. So check accessibility and the location before you also buy property in that area. That's number 2. Then number 3 is the land size and the property measurement. Verify the exact size of the land. What size? That's why you must see the survey plan. And unfortunately, sometimes they are fake survey plans. So some people may go out and blow it up. What we mean, the land may just be a 300 square meter land, and they'll go and write 600 square meter on the land. That's why it's always advisable you also get your surveyor, a registered surveyor, most especially, to go measure the land on ground before you make your payment, so that you will know the exact size of the property, the exact size of the house, what square meter is the house occupying on ground. So check the land or property size and measurement. Check it. That's number 3. Make sure that you know the property size and measurement, so that you'll be sure that they are selling the right size that is stated on the survey or the document for you. Then number 4, the zoning and approval use. What is that? Is the land meant for residential, commercial, or industrial use? So you need to be able to find those. So that's why that's another level of going to what we call land search, which mostly you go to search it in the land registry or in of that state. So what is the zoning and approved use for the land or the property in that area? So you need to know. That's why you need to do some of those. So, a lot of people find it difficult to be able to pay some little money, professionals some little money to do all those findings for them. So at the end, they go and lose millions. So pay just those little money to be able to do all this research before you acquire your land. So find out what is the zone and approval use of that land. Avoid buying residential land in areas zoned for industrial purpose. Avoid buying it. Sometimes that area has been in earmarked for it. Imagine people that bought within the Dangote refinery because they have been earmarked for the refinery. And people that all bought land for residential purpose in that area, they all lost their land. So find out what is the approved or zoning purpose for that area before you buy. Number 5 is the neighborhood and security. Is the environment safe and peaceful? Is that area not where you know that maybe kidnappers or insecurity is happening massively in that area? So find out, is the area safe? Is the neighborhood secure in that area where the property is located? So find out, ask all this information. That's why you need to work with a very sincere and knowledgeable agent or realtor. So work with them to be able to give you all those necessary information, even if you are not around. So find out that the neighborhood and the security and of the neighborhood. Find out if it's are there security challenges or communal disputes. Find out, are there communal disputes? Is there where people are always fighting? The communities are clashing. Area boys and all those stuff are all disturbing in the area. So find out all those things before you buy your land. Then development status. Is the land dry or waterlogged? Especially if it's land, is it dry or waterlogged? Find out. Even if you're not around, let the realtor, the person selling, the broker or whoever selling to you, take pictures or videos of the actual land and send to you so that you will know if the land is waterlogged or is a dry land, or land that is a gully, is a hilly place. All those things will help you to be able to plan to even help your negotiation power in case you really need to buy land in that particular location. So find out the development status of that land. So is there existing infrastructure in that area, like electricity, drainage, roads, especially if it's in a service scheme? Are those things already in place? Find out. All those things will help your negotiation power in case you must buy land in that particular location. So what are the development status? You need to ask. For estate, check if the development is ongoing or just on paper, or did they just write it on paper, ongoing development, while on ground, in reality, nothing is happening. So find out the development status of that estate. Also, find out about, before you buy again, number 7 is hidden charges. Confirm if there are hidden charges on the property or land. Ask about survey fees, documentation fees, development levies, etc. Find out if all those things have been paid by the previous person that is said, so that you don't end up acquiring debt. As you are buying the property, you buy property that is already have acquired so much debt in it. So find out if there are hidden charges. Get a full breakdown of all costs up front. Even things that you need to pay, ask them. Are there things like grant rents, development fee? Find out all those stuff. Know about it. If it's a C of O land, know how many years is remaining, so that you don't go and buy land that has already expired, where you need to renew the C of O almost immediately. Find out how many years you remember. So find out every hidden charge before you go ahead to buy. Then number 8 is also the seller's credibility. Are you buying from a trusted developer, agent, or direct owner? What is the credibility of the person you are buying? Is it somebody that is recommended? Can you ask the person, can he or she give you some reference, some guarantees? So what's the credibility of the person you are buying from? So make sure that you buy from someone that is credible. Do you really have a good track record? Does the person have a good track record? Do you know the person? Where do you know the person? So ask for reference or ask for testimonials from the person yourself, from people that he has actually bought from before, and confirm that. Most likely when you're, especially if you're doing some heavy transaction, make sure that you are buying from a credible seller. Then number 9, which this one anyway have some caveat, because You may not be able to do it because physical inspection. If possible, never pay for land or house you haven't seen. If possible, never pay for it. Visit the site yourself or send a trusted representative. Visit the site yourself or send a trusted representative. Please, if possible, never pay for any land or any house that you have not visited. Never pay for it. Never pay for it. I know sometimes maybe you may be in another country and where you want to buy is in another country. That might be difficult, or sometimes you don't even want your relatives, people to know that you're buying such things somewhere. Yes, that's why that number 8, the seller credibility, is so that the person can give you his or her word. But if possible, you can tell the person to go to the land to do a virtual video call so that you can see the property live before paying. Now, technology has also helped in that regard, where you can do virtual inspection. You can do virtual inspection. The person go on the land and do a video so that you can be able to see everything before you buy. So that is number 9. Then, and finally, future appreciation potential. Don't buy property in an area where it don't have future appreciation potential. That is why will the property grow in value? Will the area grow, appreciate in value? Are the government project or private development coming to that area? Is there any government project? Is there any private development, estates coming in that area? Ask those questions. So make sure you find out that the property has future appreciation potential before you buy. So let me recap all the 10 I gave today, what you need to consider before buying real estate. In case you are writing it down, what you need to look out for, what you need to consider before buying real estate. Number 1, the title documents or proof of ownership. Then number 2, the location and accessibility. Is the property accessible? Number 3, land or property size and measurement. Know the land and size that you are buying. Number 4, zoning and approved use. What is the land or property in that area? What is that location, that area meant for? So the zoning and approved use. Then number 5, neighborhood and security. Find out if it's a restive place, it's a place that they're always having communal crisis. Find out how the neighborhood and security of that place. Number 6, development status. Is the land dry or waterlogged, hilly, gully, and all those kind of things? So find out the development status. Is there existing infrastructure, things like electricity, drainage, roads around the land or around the area? So what is the development status of the land? Number 7, the hidden charges. Ask that there are no pending charges on the property where you are going to come to inherit. Ask those questions. Those are all things you need to ask. Most times people don't ask it before they buy. Number 8, seller's credibility. The person you're buying from, the person that wants to sell you, how is the person? Is he a trusted agent? Is he a trusted developer? Or is he a trusted direct owner? Ask questions. Even if it's a direct owner you want to buy for, you can do like a secret investigation around the neighborhood to ask people if he's really the owner of that property. So find out the credibility of the owner. That's number 8. Then number 9, physical inspection. If possible, do your physical inspection before you purchase the land, or send a trusted person to go for you. Worst case scenario, do a virtual inspection so that person can go there, do a video call, and you see. Then finally, number 10, as I say, future appreciation potential. So ensure that the property has future appreciation potential before you buy your money. Money is not easy to come by, so you don't want to make a mistake before buying your property. So previous video a few days ago, I talked about why you need to buy property right now, because property is not growing. Real estate land is not growing, but the population is growing. So if you buy property today, I bet you are amongst the people that have already sorted your old age. Your generation, you have set the path of wealthiness for your generation. Even if it's one plot of land anywhere, just look for it and buy quick. And if you want a reliable, trusted, and knowledgeable person to guide you in this process of acquisition, I am just a DM away. So call me, send me a DM so that I can guide you and get the property somewhere, maybe even in your state, maybe even with some installment or instrumental payment. I can help you do that. So you can reach out to me via a DM, or you call my number 0802 9799228. I call it again, 0802 9799228. So give me a call or send me a DM after watching the video, and please share this video to your network. There will be other people that wants to know things they need to know before they buy land. Share this thing, share it 10 times, many places. Copy the link, put it on your DM and so on. Let people watch it and be knowledgeable. So until I come your way again, remain blessed. Bye for now.